Exclusive.
Hey guys, it's your favorite final boy and girl, Alex and Emily, coming at you in a new episode of Gag Me With a Knife, a weekly podcast where we dissect, disembowel, and shred the best and worst slasher movies. This is going to be a special episode, so it's not going to follow our normal structure, since this is a YouTube exclusive. As our episodes generally focus on a single movie, today we're just going to be listing our favorite slasher movies from each year of the 80s. Emily and I are super excited today to have special guests with us, a guest whose views on amazing and crappy slasher movies are most in sync with our own. Straight from the Hysteria Continues podcast, we are excited to talk to Nathan Johnson. Hey, Nathan, thanks for being here.
Hey, thank you guys for asking me. I never thought that I'd be a special guest on anything. So,
oh my God,
this is very nice.
I'm so excited. You're as soon as I heard your voice, the first time I ever heard the Hysteria Continues, it was, I think, Evil Laugh or Hide and Go Shriek, and I was like this. And then I found out you were from around where we're from, and I was like, oh my God, soulmate.
Destiny.
It was like slasher movie soulmates.
Oh my God.
It was kismet. I just learned that word, and I'm excited to use it.
Okay, so this is how it's going to go. We'll just be going through 1980 to 1989. We'll start out, since Nathan, you're our guest of honor. What is your favorite movie from 1980?
My favorite movie from 1980 is Don't Go in the Woods.
That's a good one. Who's in that one?
Mary Gail Arts. James Bryan directed it. Jack McClellan, Angie Brown.
And I don't remember that one that well.
Oh, Don't Go in the Woods. A lot of people do not enjoy it. I think Justin gave it 1 star out of 5 on his website.
Well,
thank you, Justin. But see, I love trashy slasher movies. Like, the more ridiculous, the better. So my favorites are usually ones found in the bottom of most people's lists.
Yes, same. Most of the time.
Yeah.
Because Don't Go in the Woods is still entertaining. If it's super boring or confusing or trying to be...
I was thinking, Don't Go in the Woods alone. That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I like
alone
that one.
Alone is like part of the tagline. It looks like it's that's how bad it is. You don't even know what the title is unless you go on Wikipedia or IMDb.
Yeah, I always thought it was Don't Go in the Woods alone.
See, like when I was growing up and we went to one of my local video stores, it was just under the title Don't Go in the Woods. I didn't know until I got the internet, because, this is back in the covered wagon days before internet. But yeah, once we got the internet, I found out that, all kinds of movies can come by different titles and it's the same movie.
And they changed the movies on the opening credits as well, the titles. I mean, if you don't have at least 2 or 3 different titles, you're not watching a classic movie.
Absolutely. Stripe says hello, by the way.
Hello, Stripes. You might end up hearing Steve Harrington Dunlap bark. I don't know.
You'll hear Merlot as well. Not what I'm drinking, but the cat behind me.
You'll hear the wine. There have been times where you hear the wine.
All right, Emily,
are you both drinking for the podcast? I would have drank an Athonian, but
Yeah, a little bit. Emily, what do you got for number 1 or your favorite 1980
Okay,
movie?
so, at first I was thinking Friday the 13th, but then I realized I don't really like the first Friday the 13th as much as I like the other Friday the 13th. It's probably one of my least favorite of the series, which is still, saying a lot. So that being said, I think my favorite movie from 1980 is Mother's Day.
Ooh, yes. I love Mother's Day.
So good.
Yeah. I love it. It's endlessly quotable. It's got an amazing montage workout scene. It's got revenge. It's got Queenie. So, and I'm not going to go into the whole trauma thing with it again, because I got in trouble last time. But that's mine. So what's yours, Alex?
Mine, I was also kind of torn between Friday the 13th, but then for a similar reason as you, it's okay. I understand its cultural significance and how it started a franchise, but I think for rewatchability, for 1980, my most favorite movie to rewatch is Motel Hell. I mean,
Good one.
how do you not like someone who's turning people into, planting them in the ground, turning them into sausages, and then he walks around with a pig head and stuff? I mean, I just think it's it's kind of comedy. It's based on a true story-ish, and I just love it.
I like that movie a lot too.
Yeah, it's a movie I haven't seen in a long time, but I remember liking it. All right, so we're moving on to 1981. Nathan.
And just keep in mind that I'm going by Justin's website because I know sometimes the years are a little off, so I don't know.
Oh yeah, there were a few. There were a few, and I was gonna ask about because
we had the same issue
forever. No, like until today, I saw everywhere the Hide and Go Shriek was 87, and today I saw 87, 88, and 86.
Yeah, I mean, I normally just go by either Wikipedia or Justin's site.
I usually go by Wikipedia, so I'm just like, I mean,
yeah. So
they're all probably dates they've come out in different countries and stuff. So it's
yeah.
Probably,
well, my main reason for saying that's because I chose Pieces for 1981, but I know other places have it as 82. But no matter what, it is Pieces. I'm going with it.
That's gonna be funny in a second.
Yeah, definitely love Pieces.
That's one you saw recently too, isn't it, Alex? Like you hadn't seen it.
Yeah, I saw it around Christmas for the very first time. It's for some reason it had never made my list. That we watched some movie and we'd have to look back, but there's a Pieces poster in the movie.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, what's Pieces? And you were like, oh my God, what's Pieces? And I was like, not Reese's. And you were like, fuck you. And then you told me what it was. And I was like, how did we not see this movie, growing up? For me. Yeah.
I saw it when I was probably about 10 years old, and it left a lasting impression.
I'm sure it did. Yeah, that's what happened to me with I Spit on Your Grave when I was 8. So the gang rape did not bother me because I didn't understand it, but the penis did. I had never seen a penis, so that's what bothered me. Anyway,
Wait a minute. We're talking about Pieces, right?
Yeah, but I was saying that I was young when I saw I Spit on Your Grave, so.
Okay. I just kind of got thrown off for a second because when you said the rape scene, I was like, is there a rape scene in Pieces?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past the movie, but no, there isn't. Yeah. I mean, there's everything else, but no, not that. Okay, so my favorite of 81, and it's just boring, but it's Friday the 13th Part 2.
Not boring at all.
It's one of my favorite.
It's a very good choice.
It's one of my favorite of the franchise. So, yeah, I mean, I love Sackhead Jason, and I love Jenny, and Alex. I don't know if you knew this, but Amy Steele, who plays Jenny, was there when Nathan's husband proposed to him.
Oh my God! No, I did not know that. That's amazing.
He got her involved, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I can tell the story pretty quick.
Yeah. Tell it. It's really good.
He contacted her because he knew that my favorite final girl of all time was Amy Steele from Friday the 13th Part 2. And so I was finally going to get to meet her at one of the conventions. So he found her Facebook page and contacted her. And basically they planned that she was going to bump into me in the bar area and basically help Wes propose to me. And that's pretty much what they did. I thought that was really cool of her to be willing to do that.
Yeah. Surprised that he didn't do something with like wearing her sweatshirt with her head sticking out of a table or something.
I'm surprised also that he didn't do something with Alice still being alive, since that's such a thing that y'all talk about all the time.
He doesn't really, Wes isn't really involved in my slasher side of myself.
Yeah.
He won't really watch them with me.
My husband's the exact same way.
Well, your husband will sit through them. He's a trooper. But he would not sit through Boarding House.
Well, I haven't really made him sit through any since Boarding House because of how upset he got when I made him watch that, and he's just stomped away.
No,
so
I heard that. Didn't you say he only watched 30 minutes of it?
Yeah, the scene where the main girl's being like making eyes in the jacuzzi. He's like, he just basically got up. He's like, I'm not gonna fall asleep on the couch. I'm going to bed.
I thought
he stomped away.
Alex made a quick video that he soon deleted, but he was like, look how mad he is, and he was like, I'm not watching this. You can't make me watch this.
Yeah, he was in there getting ready, like getting in bed, putting his glasses on to read. He's like, I'm not watching that shit.
So good. Okay, so Alex, what's your favorite of 1981?
81 for me is definitely The Burning. I am obsessed with Cropsey. I am obsessed with Shears and summer camps, and I like Jason Alexander in this.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The Burning for me is not. It has every element that I should love in a slasher movie. It has everything, but for some reason it just falls short. I don't know why. I don't really like it that much.
I like it, and I will say that I've grown to like it more over the course of time. I mean, the raft scene is incredible. It's just
I love the raft scene. Yes, but I love the raft scene.
I think the problem for me is I don't really find the final boy, so to speak, in this one to be that appealing. I think that maybe they could have. There were so many other options in that movie that I think would have worked even better. But the killer himself, Cropsey, deserved his own franchise, and I think it's a crime that we didn't get anything but the original Burning.
Oh, I agree with that.
There should have been a series of the Burnings.
Yeah, because Cropsey was real. I mean, like, or a real thing that people talked about.
We could do a movie, Emily. We could just reenact mine one time whenever I see you again, called The Sun Burning, and we could pretend I'm going skiing again, and we could try to connect it to The Burning.
Oh, I would kill you.
With shears, please.
So, okay. For 1982, Nathan, what is your pick for 1982?
The Slumber Party Massacre is my 1982 pick. It's always going to be one of my favorites because it and Alice Sweet Alice are pretty much interchangeable as to which one I saw first. Because I watched them both around the same time.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing you say that in one of your.
And I watched Slumber Party Massacre so much. I mean, it was ridiculous. It just I was obsessed with it.
That's how I did with all of it.
I'm wearing a Driller. The Driller Killer tee right now from Cavity Colors with the original Russ Thorn or whatever from part 1. He's over the pocket with a little drill. I'm wearing it right now.
I like that. I need to get I want a shirt like that.
I have some.
Hoodies too.
It's a baseball tee cut. It's really cute.
No, this was just a tee. This is just a pocket tee.
Oh, okay. Well, I've seen your Slumber Party Massacre one that's like a baseball tee.
Oh yeah, that's a collage of the cover. That's amazing.
I got a Last Slumber Party shirt.
Oh my god! Is it just the wallpaper or is it real?
The wallpaper house. No, it's just this blue shirt that has like the cover on it.
Okay.
Yeah. So my 1982. Funny enough. So when Nathan said 81 for Pieces, I have it as my 1982 pick.
Yeah, I mean, it may have been 82. I don't know.
I did have a backup. I did have a backup as Tenebrae, but yeah, Pieces, and who knows, with those dates, they get muddled sometimes. But yeah, when you said that, I was like, I thought I had a feeling you were going to pick Pieces at some point. So I was like, oh, good. He's not picking at the same time as I am.
It's just, I don't know what it is. Like, for me, it's just endlessly entertaining.
Oh, my gosh. And that Kung Fu scene out of nowhere or bastard. Like, I mean, what is happening throughout that whole movie? And then at the end, I mean, you're just like, really, what's happening? And then the music for the soundtrack, like for the theme song of What's Happening plays, and then you have to watch the whole first season of What's Happening. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you do.
I like What's Happening.
Me too. I love that show. When I had mono in 4th grade, I watched it every single day because I didn't have to go to school. I was homebound. Greatest year ever. Anyway, okay, Alex, 1982.
For 1982, I've got Tenebrae. Obsessed with, this is probably my second favorite Argento movie. I think it's the first being Suspiria, but this one is super bloody. Obsessed with the soundtrack. John Saxon is a god, and I really, really love this movie.
Love him because he's a zaddy, but And Suspiria is not a slasher, but I think Tenebrae.
No, I just meant in terms of Argento. It's my second favorite Argento movie total. So, and it is a slasher. So, and I like the whole plot, with the writer and the faking of the deaths, and I don't know.
Okay, why are you saying I don't want to spoil something? We spoil every movie.
Exactly, and this is again from the 80s. Well, I don't know. I just had a little moment of weakness. Bye. Okay. I'll drink more wine. I'll be fine.
Okay, so Nathan, 1983.
83 for me, as much as I love a lot of the movies on 1983, and there are a lot that I love, I really think I like Sleepaway Camp the most.
Me too.
Yeah,
that was mine too. We might as well.
I kind of thought all three of us would say Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah.
Today on on this horror movie group that I started, someone had posted something about the Sleepaway Camp movies, and this one girl was just going off about how much she hated them, and I was just like, and then I have a friend that hates the first one. He likes the second and third one. This girl, I asked if she had seen the second and third one, but she was like, I didn't want to after I'd seen the first one. But I don't get it. I don't understand how you couldn't like it. It's just, I mean, you've got everything. You've got a foul-mouthed boy who's hilarious, Ricky. You've got the best twist ending of all time. I mean, you've got ridiculous shorts. You've got,
awesome crop tops with good old bellies underneath them.
You got the side ponytails. You have Judy. You have Meg. You have awesome effects. I mean, I just don't.
You have Hey Bob or Bob.
Yeah, Kenny is like my favorite character.
Bob.
In question, I this is just coincidental, but you also have Aunt Martha. But I'm pretty sure I read that she died today. Desiree Gold.
What?
Oh, I
look that up now.
I saw it on Bloody Disgusting on Twitter, and I Googled it earlier, but that was the only article I could see. But then I found it too about an hour ago or 2 hours ago on like a movie website as well. I mean, she wasn't the biggest actress, so I know it's not like gonna be a ton of news articles, but
no, you're right.
I think she died today. So rest in peace, Desiree Gold. You were the best Aunt Martha.
She died at 76.
I mean, her part of the movie made the movie stand out for so many people. I mean, because it was just so out there, and her fucking beret and that little scarf thing she's wearing.
And the biggest hands of all time.
Yes, God. Anyway, too much to love about that movie.
Well, I think that we can. Well, R.I.P. Desiree Gould, I guess is how you pronounce it. So now we'll move on to 84 since 83 was all three of our. It was the same.
Yeah.
Nathan, 84.
84. Now, I have an undying love for Splatter University and Movie House Massacre, and I love them so much. But unfortunately, 84 was the year Nightmare on Elm Street came out, and it's just a hair above them because it is just one of those movies that not only to me is it a classic, but it's so rewatchable. Like, I never get tired of watching it. I watched it again like 2 days ago. It's just that rewatchable for me.
Yeah, and that was also my pick for 84, and for the same reason. It
was my pick too.
There are other movies that I like from 84, but I mean, it's the beginning. It's Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't think anything can beat that.
Yeah, I mean, there's just too much stuff going on with it. Them doing when they did The Room with Tina, where it looks like she's on the wall, but it's really a rotating room. Like now, people will be a little bit lazier and do the CGI, but the practical effects look so much better. And who the hell rotates a whole room? Like that was just, Wes Craven was just a genius. And who was the other guy on it? It was what's his name's brother or wife, or husband.
Rosenthal, is that his name?
It was whoever the old lady in all the Insidious movies. What's Lynn Shay, Bob Shay, I think's his name. Bob Shay and Wes Craven were the ones that did this one, right? Bob Shay.
I think so, actually, yeah.
But anyway, they have different creative differences later on, but it worked in this movie.
All right, so we've all agreed on these two. I think. This is I kind of thought that this might happen because I think in the later years is where we'll start kind of sway, like going in different directions. But 1985, the year Alex and I were born. What year were you born, Nathan?
1980.
So you had a better year than we did, as far as horror movies go. But anyway,
Yeah.
1985. What was your favorite?
Well, just like before, Nail Gun Massacre is amazing and fantastic, and I love it. But I have to go with Friday the 13th Part 5: A New Beginning.
Yes, it's such a good one.
To me, it's just incredible. It is probably, to me, the most entertaining Friday the 13th movie because it is just a great amount of cheese and funny dialogue.
Please.
And, I mean, tons of deaths. I mean, this movie introduces characters for 2 seconds and then they're dead.
Yeah, like I think that happens in what's that movie, like Fatal Pulse, where it reminds me of that, where they'll have a character for like just 2 seconds and you're like, who is this person? It's just so they can die.
And you can't get over Reggie's in his little red tracksuit thing, and he has one of the best screams in for the franchise history. I mean,
and in the 80s he did not die, which that and Night of the Demons were, I always think of those two as movies where we had I think it was a little more progressive that they didn't kill those characters. 1985 for me. Okay, so I have it depends on if you are going to let me count Demons as a slasher movie because I think it has a lot of elements of a slasher. But if you don't want me to count it as a slasher, I'm going to pick another movie that also might not be. We count it as a slasher, but Dark Power. So it's between Demons and the Dark Power, really, for me, for 1985. It'd be Demons if y'all will let me count it.
I'll let you because I love Demons.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like Demons as well. But,
the feeling I get from it, like, just because slashers for me it's more of a feeling that I get when I watch them.
Right.
And there's like a checklist of, okay, you have to have teenagers, this, you have to have this, you have to have this. And if it marks enough of those boxes, then I can like say, okay, yeah, this is a slasher.
Right. And so, and it's kind of along the same lines to me in terms of slasher. I mean, because it is demons, ravenous demons or whatnot. But, I consider Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight kind of slasher-esque as well. And it's kind of the same principle, same type of movie, just not. So I consider Demon slasher.
Yeah.
In regards to how I consider Demon Knight a slasher.
Yeah, no, I can see Demon Knight as a slasher, though.
Yeah. So, yeah, Demons, that's Bava, right?
Lamberto, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, I think Dario Argento, like all the big Italian directors, like kind of worked together on this movie, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Argento did the screenplay. I'm not sure who else did other things.
Fulci had something to do with it. Maybe Umberto Lenzi had something to do with it. I don't really know, but
yeah.
Okay, so what's your to 85, Alex?
The best movie ever is Blood Cult. No, I'm just joking. I'm so joking that it's not my answer.
No, I thought it was. I was going to be excited.
I was going to say Nightmare on Elm Street 2 because I hated it as a child, but the more I grew up and then coming out and being gay and seeing it from a different lens, I really love that movie. However, I just can't get past, and we have some Italians on here today. I can't get past Phenomena, which some people listening might know it as Creepers. Some
people might know it as a movie with Jennifer Connelly in it I don't like her. So.
And yeah, so she basically has telekinesis with bugs or whatever and solves a serial killer. I mean, I just think that's the wild. I mean, the bugs scared me, the poster scared me of all these crickets and stuff, and the soundtrack again, 100% fire. And then of course Argento again. So, and I love Jennifer Connelly. This movie and The Labyrinth were my childhood. So I got to go with Phenomena.
All right. 86. Nathan, what's your pick?
My pick for 86 is Aerobicide, a.k.a. Killer Workout.
Killer Workout.
Oh, nice.
I like that one. I watched it recently I thought it was hilarious that I watched it on Prime. I have it on VHS, but I watched it on Prime recently. And like, there's a whole scene that's like the tape or whoever was putting it on to streaming, like the tape is ruined in one part of it and they just like left it in there and put it on streaming.
Oh.
It's hilarious.
Does this movie have anything to do with? Is there a tanning
Yes.
bed?
At the
beginning.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then there's a really amazing shot of like her burned boob body.
Oh no! I think I may have to rewatch this because I'm getting this confused, and I know it's not the same.
With
I know I've
Death
seen
Spa?
Killer Workout. Yes, in Death Spa, but it was more like computery, ghosty.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
that
I
was
need
my
to-
problem with Death Spa. I prefer a more of a straightforward slasher, I guess.
Yeah,
And
me
I
too.
say that after picking Nightmare on Elm Street as my favorite from '84. So, I'm full of shit, basically.
And Nathan, you never cuss.
I know.
Oh,
I know. I
we've
thought
already
I would do that on your show because.
We've already
Well-
corrupted
Hey.
somebody. We do that. I'm sorry.
But I
we
live
do correct.
with the biggest cusser in the world because I swear he could turn anything into a cussing match. I mean, not arguing, but just because he can cuss like really well.
Yeah, it always surprises me because I substitute teach and
Oh my God.
like, and I mean, I don't cuss there though.
No, I
And
just can't imagine. I just can't imagine.
I don't
you
know how
restraining
though,
yourself.
because
I
like
don't know how.
when I'm at home, like it's just like I don't even think about it, and it's like every other word is the F word, and I'm like, how do I do this? But I have slipped up before, but anyway. Okay, so 86 you said was sorry.
Aerobicide.
Aerobus. Okay,
And I was just
AKA
saying that,
Killer
yeah,
Workout.
basically, that's one reason I prefer Aerobicide to Death Spa is because Aerobicide is a human being killing people with this giant safety pin.
Yep. And it's got some really hilarious fight scenes in it too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mine for 1986 is I go back and forth with this being my favorite slasher movie of all time between one and the other, but 86 is Evil Laugh for me.
Great choice.
I love Evil Laugh. I think that it's meta. I think that Kevin Williamson, I always like to call him Sean Williamson because I put Sean Cunningham and Kevin Williamson together. I think he for sure watched this movie before he made Scream because Barney is Randy.
Mhm.
And for all of its shortcomings, it's a fun time. It's got a lot of stuff you're not going to see in other movies, and the microwave scene is hilarious. It's got jokes in it. I mean, it's just like a fun time.
And Mark is super hot. I don't care.
Yeah, he's an asshole though.
He's
But
he's an asshole, but he is like probably one of the hottest things I've ever seen in an 80s horror movie. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, most of the characters are jerks in that movie.
yeah, and okay,
And really bad cleaners. They would never
Yeah.
make it in the house cleaning industry.
And this episode is they wouldn't. And this episode is going to be coming out this week. Well, this recording will come out after this episode comes out, but we do talk about how, I mean, the whole movie, everyone's just making excuses of where this guy is. The one that bought the house. I can't even remember his name right now, but I mean, they give about 75,000 excuses as to where is this guy? They
His name's
never. Jerry, yeah. And it's like, I remember when I was listening to the Hysteria Continues episode on it, you were just like, I mean, why are they just making excuses? Why don't they try to look for him? I mean, it's ridiculous.
You're right. I mean, it's true because I was just thinking to myself when I watched it last, I was like, if, me and a group of friends went somewhere and Wes was supposed to meet us there and it's going on nighttime and he's not showing up, I'm going to be like really worried. I'm not going to be going, oh, well, he probably just got lost in the grocery store or something lame like that.
He's busy picking out the perfect avocado. He'll be here. Don't worry.
And then I mean, yeah, it's ridiculous. So 86 for you, Alex.
So I didn't know if this was a slasher. I know it's horror comedy. So I just wanted to mention it, but I don't think it's a slasher. It's called Blood Hook.
I don't know if I'd call
Oh,
it.
I love Blood Hook.
Yeah,
I would
slasher.
probably put it in slasher.
Okay.
Category.
But I am going to say Killer Party. I like it better, and it's definitely it's like all kinds of things. It's supernatural and slasher and
Killer
possession
Party
and
was
haunting.
86.
That's what year we are.
Oh yeah, we are. Sorry, I don't.
what?
Oh gosh.
I actually forgot about Killer Party, and I would rate that above Aerobicide. So I'm switching my pick to be the same as Alex's.
We're making him cuss, and we're changing minds now.
Yeah, I love
Lord,
Killer
watch out.
Party.
Killer Party's a good one. Killer Party's a good one. But it doesn't beat Evil Laugh for me.
Well, because this is because you hate Vivia, and I stand her like peanut butter and jelly.
Vivia is incredible.
I hate her.
Vivia. But I love Jennifer when her hair's upside down, when she's riding that chandelier like a bull at a bar.
And
I
her
think
hair
Blake's
does
adorable.
not move. Her hair does not move.
I love the randomness of the freaking underwater aquanaut like guard, whatever costume. I just love Killer Party.
I agree.
The only thing that is wrong is that it could have shown more. It cuts away every death. So.
Oh yeah, the is it MPAA? Yeah, they ruined this movie. They cut it all away.
Yeah, they did. You can tell that there was supposed to probably be some pretty decent gore scenes, and they cut them all out.
Like every single one.
Yeah, thanks what is it, MGM, you a-holes.
And I'm like, and all these years later, it will be nice to finally see it, like see all the gore scenes that were meant to be in it. But so far, nothing.
Yeah, but if they threw away all of Friday the 13th Part 7 stuff, I mean, I highly doubt we're going to find any like Killer Party footage anywhere.
What if there's like a real life conspiracy or mystery that was filmed, and that's why they really threw it away? You know what I mean? Like, think about it. I don't know. I'm just saying. Someone could have. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. Bye.
What? A conspiracy from who?
Exactly.
Okay, all right. Well, think about that a little bit more and get back to me.
I'll try.
Okay. 1987, Nathan.
The Slumber Party Massacre Part 2.
Oh, me too.
I mean, the guitar drill, it's probably one of the best weapons in slasher movie history.
Yep.
And I just think that it's just one of those movies that even when the kills is going on, it's still very upbeat and fun.
And the kills don't start like the real kills. They don't start till like, there's only about 20 minutes of the movie where there's like any kind of killing, but you don't really care just because you're having a good time. You're at that party.
It's like a musical horror movie. Like when have we it's one of the first pure on musical horrors that I've ever seen. It's amazing.
So is that one yours too, Alex?
Yes. Hells yes. You know why? Because what I want most is a pie in the sky. Emily actually bought me the Wednesday week on vinyl around Christmas time, and so every now and then I'll turn that on, and it's got If Only, Why, and those are really all I listen to on repeat.
I love those two songs though,
but they're bomb.
Well, the whole album's pretty good. And
Emily and I, we used to, when this first came, well, not when it first came out, but when we were in high school,
we loved Tokyo Convertible.
It took us forever to find a rip of Tokyo Convertible, and we were like on a scavenger hunt.
Well, I worked at a record store years later, and I found an import of Tokyo Convertible, and it is Kevin Costner's first band.
Yeah.
Well, and only band.
Yeah.
They did Tokyo Convertible.
And it's
not as good as when they sing it in the movie, but
says you
said it too.
Both versions make me pull a collar of my shirt down and look at myself in the mirror. Okay.
I don't even know what that means, but
they're saying I wanna be.
Yeah. Okay, now I remember when Matt's pulling up. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, in the car.
1988, Nathan.
Rabid Grannies. It's definitely my 1988 pick. I absolutely adore it.
I haven't seen that one forever. I actually want to rewatch it now.
They look so wild. I remember them.
Oh God, it's just, to me, it's the exact kind of slasher I like. And I know people are gonna say it's not a slasher. All right, but it does the slasher formula is what I'm trying to say, in that you got a huge castle full of these guests, like in this black tie, like dinner, and then two grandmothers running around like killing like all these guys in tuxes and women in these real long like gowns, and it's just, I don't know, it's just an amazing movie, and it's very inventive, and it's one of those where even when the killing's going on, it's just so silly and over the top. It's still really fun. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Definitely fun.
As long as I'm having a good time, it can be the worst pile of shit ever. But if I'm having fun watching it, then I mean I don't care.
Yeah, and if I'm laughing, and I could be drunk or sober, if I can do it both, then that's an even better movie.
So that was your 1988. My 1988 is Hide and Go Shriek, although it's been shown as 87 and 86. It was shown as 86 according to the Hysteria Lives, but I've never seen it that early ever on any other side. I've always seen it. I have the VHS copy, and it's 88. 80,
I've always seen 88.
87. Well, I think I've always seen 87 or 88. No, 88.
Yeah, because Wikipedia and IMDb both say 88.
Yeah. So Hide and Go Shriek. Hide and Go Shriek. And if, and I said if no one wants to count that, then Iced. But Hide and Go Shriek. I love that movie. I always have. I have such a good time with it, except for Bunky Jones. But besides her,
is she the one with the dinosaur earrings?
No, she's the one that's like, I just don't understand.
Oh God.
I liked her.
Yeah, I cannot stand her. Dinosaur earrings is the one that you, for some reason, you thought was going to live when it's clear she's not going to live.
She's the with crater face.
Yeah, but she had already had sex.
Yeah, but yeah, the other girl, it's like I need a pill to listen to her.
Yeah. Okay, what's your 88, Alex?
There is not even any question. Sleepaway Camp 2. I was like,
oh yeah.
I was like, I don't know, 5 when I saw it, and for the very first time, and so like I don't know, what was that, kindergarten, and horrified me to do anything outdoorsy except drink on the patio. Horrified me to go to summer camp. Horrified me of basically wasps, outhouses. I mean, just everything. Terrifying movie. But growing up, it's like it was one of the first movies before it was everywhere all over Prime, and everybody was starting to see it again. Like that was a movie that I could introduce to people, and they could get my sense of humor with horror. Yeah. And they'd be like, "Holy shit! How this movie's like incredible." And it's a really good connector. If people like it, I know I'm going to like them. If they don't like it, I can still like people. But if you like Sleepaway Camp 2, I'm definitely going to like you.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's one that I always go back to.
Yeah, it's funny because Wes, he doesn't like slasher movies really, but he has a soft spot for the Sleepaway Camp series.
But you know what? The guys on Hysteria Continue do not like them.
Oh God, they hate part 2.
I don't understand
part 3, but I'm like, you guys are all going to gang up on me again.
I'm so shocked that you haven't done part 3, and I'm so shocked that they have such a disdain for part 2. I've never heard of people not liking that movie that much. It's shocking, really.
Do they like part 1?
Yes,
that's why.
Well, I like part 1. I mean,
but 1 and then 2 and 3 are totally separate styles and everything. And so a lot of people, I like all 3 of them, but a lot of people like them separately for those, or they're different types of horror movies. So
I mean, my friend Brad hates part 1, but he likes 2 and 3.
Exactly. So and then they have the flip over here. So I like them all, but yeah.
So okay, 1989. Nathan.
Sleepaway Camp Part 3.
Yeah, me. I was between.
It's my favorite Sleepaway Camp.
It was between Intruder or Sleepaway Camp 3, and I was like, "Who am I kidding? It's Sleepaway Camp 3." I mean, if I had the choice to watch the Intruder, or Sleepaway Camp 3, I'd pick Sleepaway Camp 3 every single time.
Yeah, mine was between Moonstalker
most of the time.
Yeah. Mine was Moonstalker or Sleepaway Camp 3, and I chose Sleepaway Camp 3 as well.
I mean, and it's come to be Sleepaway Camp when it was between 2 and 3. It used to always be part 2 was my favorite between the two, but part 3 is slowly becoming my favorite.
Yeah, part 3 I think I like a lot because they really try more in part 3 to get you to want the characters to die.
Yeah.
In part 2, like most of them, I mean, there were a few that definitely, I could see why Angela killed them, but I mean, for the most part, like some of their crimes really weren't that bad. I mean, two girls get high, big whoop, and they deserve to die for that. But now in part 3, Angela's killing off these people who really, really are despicable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can't wait for it to happen. And you're like, oh yeah, she's switching camps. She's gonna just slay all of them now. Yes, like it's gonna happen.
Yes.
And you can't wait to see how it's gonna happen, what she's gonna say, because she was becoming quite the comedian at this point, and it was just incredible.
The only problem I have with part 3 is that the showdown with
Barry's or whatever's dad.
what's his name from part 2?
It's not Barry.
Sean's dad?
Sean's dad, yeah. Barney. His name's
Barney.
Yeah, the showdown is so anticlimactic for me.
He's raging.
So,
we went on. We went into how we were both super pooped over the fact of she's just, and he's just a cop. Whatever. I can't get into it again. I'll break a window.
So I'm shocked you didn't say The Mutilator for 1985, Alex.
I just said I liked Argento and Jennifer Connelly and her eyebrows and too much.
Oh, and you know what? We actually were gonna do the last one in a different order, but I realized we weren't doing them like for
Right, like,
five.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't have made sense.
It wouldn't have. I was like, we'll get to it, and I thought about it the whole time. I was like, well, whatever.
I did have some honorable mentions, and then I also had some dishonorable mentions.
I have some as well.
So I have in 1983, I have an honorable mention, A Blade in the Dark, one of my favorites.
Good choice.
For 1984, I have Friday the 13th, 4 final chapter, and Silent Madness. For 1986, I have Killer Party, Slaughter High, and Sorority House Massacre, and Witchboard. But Sorority House Massacre, we all know, is just because of nostalgia. Because last time I watched it, it was different for me.
Beth.
Beth. In 1987, my honorable mentions are Blood Rage, Nightmare on Elm Street 3. For 1988, I had Friday the 13th Part 7, which is my, I have 3 favorite Friday the 13th, and it's 2, 4, and 7. So then I have my dishonorable mentions, where Fatal Pulse and Twisted Nightmare from 87, Blood Cult from 85, 555 from 88, and Las Vegas Bloodbath from 1989. So those are my dishonorable mentions.
You know, I threatened the guys on Hysteria Continues, and I'm going to pick Las Vegas Bloodbath. Haven't done it yet, though.
It is. It's not as bad as Axum, but
it's pretty bad, though.
Oh, it's bad. It's really bad. It's you feel like you need to take a shower after you watch it. Like it feels like you've watched a snuff film. It really, I don't know. It's weird. It's just a gross movie. Wouldn't you think?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a very odd movie. It's very, very low budget, which is not always a bad thing. But yeah, it just, for this movie, I feel like basically what they've done is gotten a group of people together and then just said, okay, just talk amongst yourself for like 30 minutes, and then we'll have somebody break in, and then they'll kill you off. I mean,
what are you talking about? Axum? Are you talking about Axum or Las Vegas Bloodbath?
Really, I feel like this could apply to both, but I was talking about Las Vegas Bloodbath.
Oh my God! Because when you were saying that, I was like, that's exactly what I would say about Axum, also.
Yes, I would agree with that too. I mean, because there's not really much dialogue that you could tell they're actually trying to act out. It's mostly just people talking all over each other, like the first half of The Night Before Easter.
That's your movie.
Yeah, but I recognize that I made many, many sins with that film.
What was your?
Hey, I actually watched that movie on this Easter. I was doing Easter horror movies, and I recognized the name. And no,
you just say I'm sorry.
He said I'm sorry. That was you. Wasn't that you in the opening?
Yes, it's you and Joseph at the beginning, right?
Well, it's me and.
Isn't it Joseph? And you're talking about your shirts.
Well, no, that's not Joe. That's with me. That's somebody else. Joe is the killer, quote unquote.
Oh, okay.
So we watched Bunny Man 1, the director's cut, which was balls crazy. Then we watched this movie about this giant bunny. I forget what it was called. Like, it's this huge bunny. It looks like Mothra or whatever.
I did not do any of this.
And then we watched the night before Easter as well. And when it starts off with you all there, and you all were talking about whose shirt's better, and they're both white T-shirts, I was screaming. I was just screaming.
It was actually just also ad lib too.
Oh God!
I still need to watch it. I've only seen the beginning of it, but I have watched your Confederate. Or not Confederate. Wait, what are they called?
The Old Federal Massacre.
The Old Federal Massacres.
I need to look at that. I need to see that one.
Those are old videos.
Those are ones I made when I was like 15.
Yeah.
And they're really bad. Really bad. They're only like 7 minutes long.
Well, ours got ruined, but Alex and I had a few. We had the clowning. We had one called End of School, End of Life. That weren't the greatest things that have ever happened. So.
Oh my God. And then we had the one where we went to, I forget what the name of it was, but we were making a seance. We were like in your grandparents' house. Then we went to the woods.
Oh, that was that was called Road Trip from Hell.
Road Trip from Hell.
Yeah. But then it was They ended up being a road trip from hell because you like crashed and broke the axle of your car up in the mountains. The only person that would stop was this deaf guy, and it took like 5 hours, and then we had to drive off a fucking mountain on a spare tire that was like squealing the whole time, and it took us 4 hours to get home.
I had a Pathfinder, and the tires that I had were big, like Muddin tires, and my spare was like a normal tire. So the car was kind of cockeyed, and it kept whistling the whole way. And it was if you went more than 5 miles an hour, and it was snowy. And then when we got in the wreck, though,
it wasn't snowy
at the top
in Maryville, but at the top of the hill. Right. We didn't know there was gonna be snow up there.
So yeah, the point was I drove what I thought the road was. It wasn't the road. It was rocks covered in snow. And then the lady was like, oh, yeah, everyone gets in a car wreck there. Don't worry about it. And I was like, oh, well, that doesn't make me feel better. I'm like 15, 16. Get me home, please, Mama.
You were not 15. You were.
I said 15, 16. I just, probably turned that year.
Well, you definitely could drive. So.
16. I could drive at 15. I drove at 15.
Not with. You'd have to be with a parent at 15.
What? Well, yeah, but I know that, but I still did it without them. I mean, I didn't.
Yeah, well, whatever. I
drove without my parents.
I think we were seniors. I don't think Nathan cares.
I broke the law. But yeah, so real quick, my honorable mentions. I only have a couple that you didn't mention that I really enjoyed. 81, I had Madman on my list. 86, yeah, 86, I had April Fool's Day. 88, I had Child's Play only because of the franchise it started, basically. And 89, I had Moonstalker.
Yeah, Moonstalker was one that we watched, that I watched recently, and then got you to watch.
And for dishonorable mentions, for 87, I had Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 because it's literally just flashbacks of Part 1.
Garbage Day.
Oh my God, fuck off. Oh God, I hate it. 85, I have Blood Cult. 84, I don't know if it's considered a slasher or not, but I have The Hills Have Eyes Part 2 because if there's a list of shit, it needs to be on every list of shit, in my opinion.
That's a bad one.
And that's it. That's all I had for dishonorable.
What about you, Nathan?
I would do honorable all the ones that we didn't mention. And I don't really have any dishonorable. I have such a soft spot for the 80s slasher movies in general that I was looking at this list right now and I was like, so what would I pick for my dishonorable mentions? And I don't see anything that I would choose for a dishonorable mention just because even the worst ones, I still love them.
So we're doing Blood Month in the month of June, and that they're all movies.
we will. Are they all horror movies that show blood?
We will just finish that.
They're all horror movies that have blood in the title.
Oh, blood in the title. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've already covered all these. Yeah, so
we did Blood Rage, but what I'm saying is I know like 3 of these movies like I really hated. Blood Rage I did not hate. I liked it. Blood Tracks, I'd already seen that and I didn't. I did not like it, but I did like the music in it.
I loved it.
Then Blood Cult. I mean, I just can't with it. I just
loved
can't.
It.
I have to rewatch it. I want to rewatch it.
I mean, I do want to rewatch it because of because of how bad, how fucking gross that salad looks all the time, even before the fingers are in it.
Oh my god, the salad that takes forever to make.
So gross. And then Blood Sisters was
I loved Blood Sisters. I can't believe it. I didn't like love it. It was still shit, but I loved how shitty it was.
I hated it so much. I was just like, I don't.
And Joe Bob Briggs's version, his narration of it is hysterical.
He did Blood Sisters.
Not on his drive-in, but he does the commentary on the DVD.
He does really good commentary.
Yeah, so he doesn't do he does the commentary. He doesn't do a show on it. It was hilarious.
So, before we go, Nathan, are there any commentaries coming out that you're allowed to tell us about yet?
Let's see.
Because I know y'all did a lot this year.
I think that all that's announced, or all that we've done, has been announced. Actually.
Oh, okay.
I think we're kind of caught up commentary wise. I mean, they said something about.
You did a lot this year, though.
Yeah, well, they did say something about getting us to do some more, but they haven't told us any titles, so I don't really have any.
Who do you usually do them for? Vinegar Syndrome?
It really depends. It's Vinegar Syndrome. We do some for 88 Films, for Arrow Video. Never did any for Synapse.
Okay.
And there was one called Powerhouse that put out Happy Birthday to Me. We did a commentary on that one. So yeah.
How do you get involved in doing that? Is it because of Justin's book and then like?
Yeah, see, before we were doing the commentaries, Justin would do the liner notes for some of these releases.
Oh, right. I forgot he did that.
And so I think that, I don't know if Justin pitched it to them or what, but our first one was Vinegar Syndrome. So.
And yeah, I just actually got the Vinegar Syndrome's Homegrown Horrors Volume 1 that just came out. And it had Fatal Exam, Beyond Dream's Door, Winter Beast, The Cellar, Grave Secrets, and All American Murder. I love Vinegar Syndrome. Obsessed.
Yes, they are awesome.
Did you do Dead Dudes in the House?
Are you talking about commentary?
Yeah.
No, but we did do an episode on it.
Oh, I knew you did an episode. What's the other title? Tombstone?
House on Tombstone Hill.
Yeah. That movie, it gets a little bit old. It gets a little bit like slow, but that grandmother is creepy. Like for real. Haunts me.
Haunts me.
She is. Like the first time you see her, like, well, not at the very beginning, but the first time you see her when she's just like in the background, it's like really creepy. It's like insidious type of stuff. Whatever. I mean, it's not like that, but it's pretty Anyway, okay, so that's that concludes our 80s favorites. And Nathan, thank you so much for doing this with us.
Thanks so much.
I'm just like,
oh no, I appreciate you asking me.
It's just awesome because the Hysteria Continues. It's been going on. It's a podcast about slashers and giallos. Nathan, how do you say giallo?
Giallo, but
how does Justin say? Because everyone says it different.
Yeah, everybody says it different. I don't remember exactly how Justin says it, but I will say that I wouldn't really rely on my interpretation of anything.
Well, I always say giallo, but whatever. But Hysteria Continues is slasher and giallo pretty much, except for their Patreon, which is awesome. And they do other movies and lists of like top, movies of different time periods and years and stuff like that. And if you haven't listened to it, you're missing out because they are so awesome and hilarious. And except for Eric, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding because he has the joke of the day.
Yes, his joke of the week.
Or joke of the week, yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Always something else. It's always something. There's my favorite one of all time was when he for Slumber Party Massacre 2. He goes, "What if it was what did he say? It was something like he was play on words on pie in the sky, but it like a sty in your eye or something." And you go, I don't understand. And then it was just silent. Like no one said anything.
A lot of times I don't get his jokes. A lot of times
because
he does
a lot of them
jokes
are. I mean, some of them aren't funny. That's probably
not to you.
I think
some
that
of them are. Some are
of them are very
okay.
regional. Like I think maybe if I lived in Ireland.
Well, he lives in Ireland, so.
No, I know, but
yeah, maybe or maybe
humor is funny internationally.
Well, he tells dad jokes.
That's what I say. I love dad jokes.
Yeah.
See, to me, I think it can get regional because sometimes he'll make comments that maybe I mean that I don't understand because I live in the sticks.
Well, I mean, we're both from Maryville, so.
Hey, I left though.
I live in Knoxville, so it's not that far. But and then Justin lives. Well, he doesn't live in England right now, does he?
No, he's from England though.
Yeah, but he lives in like another, like it's like very exotic. As far as our
exotic Justin.
Yeah, the exotic Justin. And then Joseph just moved, correct?
Yeah, but I mean, what's funny is he moved to another state, but since I live right on the line between two separate states, I see him pretty regularly.
Oh, so it's just the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, and they know their stuff. Just, they're awesome. It's, if I had to
hundreds
choose,
of episodes to catch up on, and any movie you can think of, they probably have an episode on somehow, some way, or they're planning it.
Yeah.
Oh, I had so many more written down that I can't wait to pick.
I'm sure they're so excited about it. But listen, I think really you need to have them, like Sleepaway Camp 3 needs to come. I mean, it needs to come soon.
Yeah, I know they're all going to hate it, but they're going to have to watch it.
Well, they might be surprised. I don't know. Anyway.
I mean, if you all can do an episode on like Final Exam or like something, Tower of Evil, then you can do freaking Sleepaway Camp 3.
You did Dream Maniac. I mean, you can do Sleepaway Camp 3. So, I mean, you did Axum.
Oh. I didn't see that. You all have got me needing to see this.
You did Axum. I think you can do Sleepaway Camp 3.
I didn't pick it though.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was
it was a listener pick, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we won't waste any more of your time, but thank you so much for being here and talking with us. We really appreciate it. Go listen to Hysteria Continues. You can go on Redbubble and buy their merch, which I have one of their shirts and it's awesome. And also Nathan, tell them about your other podcast because it's awesome too.
Oh yes, I'm a co-host on Made for TV Mayhem with Amanda Reyes and Dan Budnick, and that one's a lot of fun to do too. They introduced me to a lot of stuff made for TV related.
I love Made for TV, and Alex does too. I think so.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun too. Amanda's awesome.
I mean it.
So Dan.
So here, this comes the time where we say gag on, and you have to just say something. So I say gag on. Shoot. Okay, Alex, what are you gonna gag on?
I mean, I'm gonna stay gag on that salad and blood cult. Now we brought it up again.
Gosh.
I'm literally gagging, not in a good way.
Yeah. Stay gagged on the lingerie from Blood Sisters. And Nathan, what would you say gagged on? Something random from something we've talked about.
Gagged, I'm going to do a bad kind of gagged and say when Sally's face turns into a giant pimple and busts open on Slumber Party Massacre 2.
That's a good one.
Oh, yes. So gross.
No more pie in the sky.
Poor Sally.
Poor Sally.
Well, it kind of was her own fault when she missed the doorway when the drill was coming at her.
She ran into the wall.
Yeah, I mean, she was like an inch away, so I mean, whatever.
I want her scream to be my ring. Stay gagged on her scream. I want it to be my ringtone. It's like it's blood-curdlingly amazing. I made that word up.
And you know what? So another big scream is Sally Hardesty. So Sally's have big screams from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If you didn't know,
Yes. Okay. Stay gagged on slashers.
stay gagged on 80 slashers. We will see you next time. Bye.
Deuces.
Bye, everybody.